Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode 186. This is a show where we talk about video games and gamer-related things. My name is Frank from Palmanso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's up, sir?
To keep it 100 with you, I'm feeling a little weird because I saw a hawk or like an eagle or something sort of get hit by a car the other day, and it's still kind of fucking with me. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm sharing it with the public now.
What a way to start. A hawk or an eagle.
Yeah. It wasn't
almost get hit by a car.
It was like sideswiped a little bit. I don't know. It kind of just swooped into the middle of a street, and then a car came and the bird didn't know what to do, of course, because it's a dumb animal. And then once it was too late, he got hit like in the shoulder or the wing or whatever, and then kind of just flew away with its pride and probably its wing bruised.
Wow.
But yeah, I was like, oh, that was a weird thing to happen on a random day.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I realized later that I think there was like some roadkill or something that I think it was eyeing, and that's why it stopped in the middle of the road to begin with. But then in retrospect, I'm like, damn, that lady that was driving that car, she did not change course at all. I was like, God damn, she did not give any fucks. Like normally you would like swerve away or something, but nope. It's just like I'm going straight. This is my lane. I own it.
Man, that's kind of nuts.
It is weird, right?
Yeah, that is kind of nuts. And I'm trying to think. I really wish you remembered which it was, if it was a hawk or an eagle.
I don't know how to identify them, so I don't know. But it was mostly brown. Let's say it's a hawk.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think. There's a type of hawk, or it's a hawk or an eagle. There's a type where, because the point of what I'm about to say is basically that if it got sideswiped by a vehicle, then it's not that bad, because there's like this type. It's a type of hawk or eagle that they go through this thing where it's kind of like an evolution, but this evolution is very painful.
Okay.
And they have to like seclude themselves in a very high place, usually like a mountain or something. And what they basically do is that they basically like I think it's either with their talons or with their beaks. I believe it's their beaks, but they basically have to kind of like manually remove their beaks in a certain way so that a new one can grow in its place, and that'll be like their permanent new beak.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a super, super painful experience. It's supposed to be like a rite of passage, both physically and emotionally.
What the
for
hell?
This hawk or eagle. And I read about it somewhere, and I was like, what in the world? But yeah, so I'm thinking like whatever it was, it's probably not that bad. If it was able to fly away and it was okay, then yeah,
it was a big ass bird. I was like, God damn, that could have been way worse.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's definitely the beak. I can look it up really quickly, but not right now. But
yeah.
But yeah, it's whatever that experience is. I'm sure the car. Whatever that experience was, I'm sure it could have been worse.
Oh yeah, much worse.
So yeah, the bird could have been like splattered and exploded into dust from getting hit. So
the old Randy Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know if that was accuracy, that was luck, or what, but man, that bird turned into dust. Well, not turned into dust, but the feathers were all removed instantly.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Goddamn.
All right, what an interesting way to start.
Yeah. Speaking of birds, I also saw OWL, which is, I guess, an acronym for the Overwatch League, because that whole thing started.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw I think one day of competition. I think they started their season, and there's a bunch of games happening each day and in different stages. I don't fully understand the whole model or the whole how the entire season is supposed to progress, but I saw one day of games, and it was kind of interesting. The production value is fucking insane on that thing. I don't know if they're doing the entire season out of this one studio, but I think they were playing in LA, and the set that they had there was fucking crazy. It was just huge ass wraparound screen, and I'm like, wow, this is This is nuts. Blizzard's throwing everything they got at this thing. It's crazy.
Oh, they got all that money, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, man. And then
it's just for the sake of exposure. I'm assuming, like, you know, they say like, hey, if we throw money at it because we have it, you know, people will be interested. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to build franchises, right? They got all these different teams, and it's kind of, I don't know, because each team is, you know, they're repping a city, and the vast majority of the cities are American cities, which I thought was weird because I think I forget what team it was, but there's like one team that's in an American city, but like their entire team is comprised completely of like Koreans. I was like,
oh, okay.
Why wouldn't it make more sense for them to represent the Korean city or whatever? Because there's a Seoul team. I don't know who's on that team or whatever. But yeah, I was like, there's a lot of American teams, and LA for whatever reason also has two teams. So yeah, I just thought it was weird. Like, it seems to follow us, I guess, from like real sports, where some of these big cities, they have multiple teams for some reason, but others do not. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand it, but whatever. But I don't know. It was cool to see like some more high level Overwatch play. I haven't really followed like the competitive scene at all, but the presentation was really, you know, really good here, and, you know, easy to follow. And I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to follow it like, you know, every game. I'm not going to root for my favorite team, which I guess by default for me would be the New York Excelsior.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting to watch.
Cool.
How was your weekend or week since we last spoke?
Oh man, I feel like we should
powered up, rejuvenated.
I feel like we should jump right into it. I feel like we should save it for the rest of this episode, because my weekend was very riveting, and I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. It was like super exciting. I was like on my hairs were standing on end. Like that's just how amazing it was, video game wise, for me.
Nice,
but yeah. Let's just start talking, man.
Yeah,
let's just start talking. But
because we haven't been talking already.
No, let's just start talking about the games, man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I got a lot to talk about. A lot of news too this week.
Yeah, everything's been happening this week.
It's like all compounded. And I think it was a lot of that is timing based as far as news was concerned, because of like basically like the day we posted last week's episode, that's when like all this shit started happening.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop. You know, so yeah. All right. So you're up first, man. What do you got for us this week?
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like I've been playing so many different things. But first of which I want to talk about is I've been playing a game called HQ. Have you heard of HQ, Frank?
I've heard of it, but I've never played it at all.
Okay. So if you've, for whatever reason, been living under a rock, HQ seems to be, I don't know, for a while it seemed like it was in the zeitgeist and everyone was talking about it, because it's basically just a trivia game show that you play on your mobile device. It was exclusive to iOS for a while, but I noticed just recently it was available on the Android store. It's labeled as early access though for some reason, but it's still completely free. You can download it. I don't know if they have any like device restrictions because it's in early access. I'm not sure about all that, but at least for me, it was available there. I downloaded it and I checked it out because I heard so much about this thing. But yeah, it's like an actual game show that you can participate just by launching the app and playing on your phone. It's a live thing. It only happens like at least twice a day on weekdays, and then they do one show every weekend. I think their usual times are every day you can play 9 p.m. Eastern, and then on weekdays you can also play on 3 p.m. Eastern. But the app will send you a notification once the next game is set to start, so you can just jump in from there. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, I guess, the perfect game, or it would be like a game show developed for like 2017 or 2018 now. Because, yeah, you play it on your phone. It's like live streamed. They have a host, like an actual person reading these questions and kind of riffing on different things that are happening live. They're in front of like a green screen. They have like these wacky graphics in the background for the green screen. But it's kind of well done. It's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, you're just answering like general trivia questions. There are 12 trivia questions in total. If you answer all 12 without getting any wrong at the end, then you win money at the end. And depending on how many people win, that determines how much you get, because if, multiple people win, you all split the pot, whatever the pot is for that day. But typically it seems to be like $2,000 each night.
This isn't like for actual money, right?
This is for actual, real,
holy shit,
US dollars.
That I did not know.
Yes,
because I knew that the competitors were playing for something.
Yes,
they were playing towards an objective, obviously. But when you're saying they win money, I'm like, this is for real money. Holy fuck!
You win cash, baby.
Oh shit!
Real cash.
Okay.
But yeah, I think on I think it was like on Sunday or Monday. I forget. I couldn't play, but their pot for that day was $10,000, which is
what the fuck, the
highest I've seen it. But again, like typically in the games that I've participated in, I've not won any, but I've seen maybe 100 or so people win, and they might get like $20-$30 or something. I think the biggest payout I saw was like 100 something for each person.
Right.
But usually each time
that's the problem you run into.
Yeah, especially more and more people playing, and
it's bigger pot too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they have a system too in place that if you refer friends and they use like your referral code, you can get extra lives, which I think means that if you happen to get a question wrong, you can spend one of your extra lives to get yourself back in the game, basically give you another chance at winning. But
okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of weird thing. It's like a weird combination of like Periscope and a game show, and you get actual money out of it, or you can.
That is nuts.
Yeah. And it's pretty easy to set up too. Like you download the app, and then all you have to do is punch in your phone number, because I guess they have to tie your account to your phone number for like security purposes and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And you make yourself a username, and that's pretty much it. And your account, I guess, based on your phone number, has a balance. So if you were to win money, then that money would be in your balance, and then you can also transfer that balance to your PayPal account if you want, and cash that in. Seems pretty simple. But again, I haven't won anything, so I haven't been able to actually transfer stuff out there. But it's an interesting thing for sure. I'm kind of curious how they're funding this, but it's crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it seems like there's like this big kind of subculture around it too. They call all their HQ fans HQDs. Everybody seems to be in love with one particular host. His name is Scott Rogowski, and I'm pretty sure that's because he seems hip and with it with like the memes. He has given himself multiple aliases. Like he'll introduce himself and he's like the Trap Trebek and the Woke Woolery and the Semitic Sajak. And I'm like, okay, he's just, he's very memey. He's very like with the kids. But every time there's another host that's not Scott, everybody's like, no, get Scott or free Scott, because there's this whole, I don't know if you heard the fucking PR that was going on like a couple months ago, but Scott did an interview with some internet publication or something, and then I think they reached out to the HQ executives or something for like comment, or the PR team or something, and then I think they were going over the interview and they were like, oh no, Scott isn't authorized to give interviews, and he shouldn't be mentioning this brand of salad or something because we don't have a deal with it. I'm like, it was this like fucking weird thing, and now the narrative has gotten away from it so that like everybody thinks HQ has Scott under hostage and we have to free him.
Right. Yeah, like trapped somewhere.
So it's like, oh shit, where's
like
Scott?
The communications department is on his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a whole funny thing, but they seem to be rolling with it. And even like other hosts, they'll be like, oh yeah, hit me up on Twitter with the free Scott hashtag or something. And so I'm like, wow, okay. This is just insane. But they also happen to do this other crazy thing that I did not expect, because most of the hosts are just like, not to be disrespectful, but like no-name people. They're, I think, like comedians or like other hosting type of duty things. People you really haven't heard of in maybe day-to-day life. But
maybe they're just using it to try to get like a break out of it.
It's a paying gig.
Yeah.
But I think on the weekend someday, I forget which day it was, they actually had Jimmy Kimmel host a game of HQ.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck? There's a famous person on my phone. What's going on here? I was not expecting this from HQ.
Well, even Jimmy Kimmel at one point was not famous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you remember The Man Show.
I do.
Yeah, that was his first thing.
His breakout, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's really cool though.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, and like the game show doesn't last long. Again, it's only like 12 questions. The whole thing lasts about 10 minutes or so to play.
Okay.
But
so all right. So I've never played the game before, but like, how do they? I don't know. Like, do they have like rules against you using your magic computer box?
I mean,
that you are playing on to to answer the questions.
I'm sure there's no rules about it, but it is very hard to do because they only give you 10 seconds to answer the question. And the 10 seconds starts when they start asking the question.
Asking the question?
Yes.
Holy shit, okay.
So it's not a lot of time. Because you have 10 seconds total to process the question and then select one of 3 answers. Wow. Yeah.
What if the question is like a 3-step question or something and it takes about that long to ask the question?
So every time they ask a question, they also pop up like a box on your phone with the entire question, so you can read it
probably faster than they're saying it. Okay,
exactly, and you have all the answers right there for you, and you see the timer going. And the only thing I don't like is that if you happen to misinput like your answer, you can't change it even though time has not expired yet. So you're kind of locked in with your answer if you accidentally press one. So then it's like, oh, fuck, I wanted to press the other one. I picked that by mistake, and I wanted to do the other one, and I can't. Now I'm eliminated because I picked the wrong answer. God damn it.
Like, I've always had this issue, like, playing those types of games, like, against other people. So you don't know Jack, right?
Yep.
So, like, there would be people that I'd be playing with who'd, like, respond, like within like a second. Like say the question came on screen and the responses are all there. As soon as the responses popped up, boom, they'd respond with an answer. And it's like, the thing is, like, most of the time they'd be getting it wrong, and I'm just like, wait. But then there are people who are like getting it right, like in that fashion, and I'm like, wait a minute, are you like seriously guessing? Because how would you know the answers to these questions instantly? That's like ridiculous. So like, I was just like, God damn it. Like, I don't know if I could trust any of you, to really, because I'm not sure if you're just insulting your own intelligence or you're really that smart, but you're just taking guesses. I don't know. Like,
you'll get the same thing in HQ because they start out with like super easy questions and then build themselves up. But you'd be surprised how many people get it wrong on the first question. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because they just want to fucking get, because I'm assuming that's how you it's not only getting the question right, but like getting the question right in the fastest way possible.
No, like the speed has nothing to do with it. It's just as long as you get the right question. Because again, if you get the right answer, you automatically move on, and everyone else that got that question right moves on. That's why you can like share the pot. It has nothing to do with speed, because that would be a pain in the ass. To figure out.
I'm sure if it was about speed, that you'd get a whole fucking bunch of people like that.
But no,
like an answer came up C.
Even without the speed, like it feels like people are just like randomly guessing. Actually, when Kimmel was hosting, he literally just like said the answer for the first question because it was so blatantly obvious, and still people just like, nope, like thousands of people picked the wrong answers.
Whoa!
Like why? It's crazy.
God. Oh my God.
But yeah, it's a cool thing, and now it's available on Android, which hasn't been for the past few months, but it's interesting, man. And it's, a lot of people, it feels like they're like starting office parties and gathering people around so that they can like group up and combine their intelligence and knowledge to try and get the answers. But yeah, it's a fun thing. And it's weird because, these days you don't really get a thing that, everyone has to be at a specific time to experience it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've also played a little bit of Portal 2. I got to play, or actually finish the cooperative part of that game with my younger brother, and that was fun. I kind of missed playing that game or just experiencing that game. I would really love another Portal game, but I also don't know how they would build on Portal 2, because that was Well, also, I don't think they have any of the writers at Valve anymore because they just make Dota now. So who would write something like that? But yeah, Portal 2, that was a lot of fun. And then the crazy thing that launched recently, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
Oh shit!
Got to mess around with that a little bit.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's cool, man. They pretty much all the stuff that they promised they were going to put in the game is in Arcade Edition. It's a free update if you already had Street Fighter V, but it's also I think $40 standalone if you have not purchased Street Fighter V already.
Yep.
And you get I forget, yeah, if you get like the season 1 and season 2 characters, but I think that is the case.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You get them. You get the season 1 and 2 characters.
Yeah.
And you also get all of their default costume colors, and I think you get all of their battle outfits as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
So, fucking Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. But yeah, it's a pretty good bundle as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
Especially if you weren't an early adopter.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've been like Street Fighter V curious, this is the perfect way to jump in.
Yeah, this is the time to jump in. Actually, it was probably the best thing that you probably could have done is bought Street Fighter V at like a super discount. Because I think there was at one point where the game was like $15. So
probably,
you could have bought it like recently for like $15, and then you could have grinded fight money with the old characters and not invested in any of the new characters. And then when Arcade Edition comes out, you have enough fight money to get all Season 3's characters, and you'll get Season 1 and 2's characters as well. So
yeah,
that would probably have been the best way to do it.
Plus, I think today also they lowered the prices on the previous season passes.
Oh, okay.
So normally they run $30. Like Season 3 character pass is $30, but Season 2 is now $20, and Season 1 is $10. Yeah, gotta get paid, man.
Yeah, Capcom.
I mean, it's just fighting games in general nowadays. Everyone's got these crazy DLCs.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. I'm highly upset.
Oh, really? Okay.
About this. Yeah, highly fucking upset.
But yeah, I played a bunch of Street Fighter V arcade. I played the arcade modes for Street Fighter 1 and Street Fighter 2. That was all right.
Yeah, I like the way they did that. I like the way they broke that down, where they have arcade styles based on the game itself.
Yeah.
So you can like play like through Street Fighter Alpha.
Yeah.
Like Street Fighter Alpha storyline, or Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 3.
The best part is they like remix all like the like character select music from those games.
Yeah.
So when you start it up, it's like, oh man, it's those so good. But yeah, they did a pretty good job with the arcade mode. And like if you like to collect stuff, they have the whole gallery, and you can like beat the arcade mode with different conditions, like with different characters, or without losing, or without using a continue. There are a bunch of things like you can look in the gallery, and it tells you like what the requirements are to unlock certain things in the arcade mode. But yeah, you can unlock basically pictures of like the endings, or different or unique endings for each of the characters and all that. But it's something you can do without having to play other people, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about like the other stuff. Like they added like the extra battle stuff where you can earn like titles or other rewards. I guess the bad part to that is that in order to participate or partake in those like extra battles, you have to pay fight money. Mm-hmm. Like usually I do these things to get fight money, but now you're asking me to spend it for a chance at getting it. If I don't succeed at this, I have to continue paying more. It's like it is the arcade edition. Like you're putting more quarters into this fucking thing.
Yeah, you're putting more quarters. Exactly.
God damn it.
Exactly.
Why didn't we see this coming?
I didn't exactly like that whole mechanic either. I was like, oh, but the thing is, I heard that they don't make the tasks very difficult, so that you're almost guaranteed to get like I think it's like every week is something different, and then at the end of every month is a costume.
Yeah, so like every week, because right now they're doing the Beautiful Joe costume for Rashid.
For Rashid.
So there's a thing you have to do for that to get a piece of the costume, and once you collect all the pieces, then you get the entire costume. But I think all told, you have to pay like 10,000 fight money to get that costume.
Yeah.
Assuming you beat it on the first try on each one. So yeah,
God.
it's fun,
Yeah.
and it took out a lot of ways to get fight money too, which is like, I'm
Yeah. Now you can't grind fight money the same way anymore. It's completely different now. That's why like, it's probably the best idea to grind fight money like yesterday.
Yup.
You grind fight money like right before this release, and then if you can grind, I think there are like fight money guides out there, but you can grind like almost close to 1 million fight money if you're doing everything right. And then even more so if you're actually good enough to complete hard mode survival and extreme survival with every character. Jesus. And this is just the base 16 characters, and you don't have to get anybody else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, the new UI is sharp. I still don't love like the black and gold aesthetic, but
yeah, I don't like the way it looks either. It looks weird.
Mm-hmm. But everything else looks like so much sharper. Like even the new, they switched out the font, and that also makes it look like so much better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they also even for like because I was playing on PC, and like PC had the issue where I think the critical art bar and the V trigger bar, if you were playing at a resolution higher than 1080p, they kind of looked bad because it was just basically a 1080p picture that they kind of had to scale up. So now that's better, and it looks better on like higher resolutions too. So that's cool. But yeah, they polished this baby up a little bit, and of course all the different balance changes and stuff. So people are trying things out and still going to the lab and seeing what's hot now in season 3, especially now with the new V triggers.
Yeah, completely changed the game's meta now. Now it's like it's going to be. People don't know what's happening all over again. Like, people are going to figure out very quickly, though, I assume.
Yo, training mode got a fucking update that I was not expecting. Like, they show you the frame advantage now. Which I'm like, what?
The colors. Yeah, like that's crazy. Like like that's awesome. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, every time you press a button,
if you're at an advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah. And you can, there's an option to toggle like the frame advantage color, so it will highlight each character either blue or red if you are at advantage or disadvantage in frame data. I'm like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, I mean, we finally got here, but I guess that's typically the case with the Street Fighter games, right? Like, what other Street Fighter game has like knocked it out the park with the first iteration? They tend to. No one played new generation of Street Fighter 3, or it wasn't as good. It wasn't the Third Strike, which everyone heralds as like the best.
Third Strike is, I mean, personal opinion, and I would almost say objectively is the best Street Fighter game ever. But it took a while to get there. Yeah. And people still think Second Impact is better than Third Strike. Like, there are a lot of people that prefer Second Impact to Third Strike.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Second Impact lovers out there. And deservedly so. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Third Strike is, to me, there's still no ceiling to that game. But yeah, but it's about time. Yeah, you're right. I'm actually, that's a good question. I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking like there is no Street Fighter game that's like knocked it out of the park in the first try. And especially that's like with Capcom, how they've been over the years with releasing different editions of the games before patches were a thing. Yeah. And even still, like, even with this game, for example, releasing like update after update, and then they're releasing another like heavy update with Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Yeah. So, and
not Street Fighter in general too. It's just like fighting games as a whole. Like they usually take a couple iterations,
tweaks
to get it right. Yeah.
Balances. Yeah. Balance tweaks, and just trying to get it right. Yeah, you're right. That's a really good question. I'm kind of trying to think about that. I don't think there's ever been a game that has knocked it out of the park on the first try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, actually, what about like Tekken games? Like Namco games, they've pretty much nailed it on the first try. I understand they release sequels, but like there haven't been like any like updated versions of the main games themselves.
See that I'm not sure about, because I don't really follow Tekken a lot. But even with Tekken 7, like they did the whole Tekken 7 in the arcades, and then Fated Retribution, and now. Which I think is
true, and actually, they did that with 5 as well. Like they did that with Tekken 5 as well, but they didn't do it with 6. I know Tekken 6 was just Tekken 6. There was no
at least maybe
other
not
version of it
in the home version, but I'm sure they did iterations in the arcade, especially with them being a Japanese company.
No, it's very possible. That's very possible.
Because I know if you look up try to look up like frame data or in-depth stuff like on Virtua Fighter, for example, you'll always see different tabs for the different like numbered version of each of like the Virtua Fighter games.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are a lot of iterations going on. Maybe not in the home console side, but definitely in the arcade side to try and bring that stuff in.
Yeah, I'm also thinking of Soul Calibur. Like Soul Calibur 1 in the arcade was great, but Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast was fucking phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
Like they fucking overhauled that game to death.
Yeah.
And so wow. I'm trying to think if there's like I don't think so. I don't think there's a franchise out there that's done that.
Yeah.
On the first try. That there wasn't necessarily a need for an update.
Yeah.
But I think that's just the nature of the type of game, though. It's not a bad thing that they want to support it more and put more into it.
Yeah. And you're getting a decent amount even for free. Like if you have the game already, you just like, there's so much stuff here, with all the arcade stuff. And I'm just, I'm worried about the fight money economy. That's one of the things I'm worried about.
Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah.
It's very different now.
And I was surprised too that I think now when you want to do like ranked or casual matches, because you have to go into your battle settings to set like your favorite character, who you want to play as, basically, because there's no character select when you do the online matchmaking. Mm-hmm. You also have to select your V trigger, I believe. I may be wrong there, or at least I saw that somewhere, or I thought I saw that somewhere. But when you go into, or at least when I was playing ranked, when you get ranked up or matched up with somebody, you get like 10 seconds to select which V trigger you want. So you get to see what character they have and make a decision from there.
Yeah.
So like, all right, that's cool. There's still some strategy to picking up the right V trigger. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Street Fighter's kind of been my go-to fighting game as of late. I've been putting a lot of time into that game, and I will continue to do so and figure out all the new stuffs. And I like that I get to shoot fucking more booms from my feet now with V Trigger 2. This is phenomenal.
Yeah, man, it's an old trick. Charlie used to be able to do that, no problem.
The terrible thing is you can't get anything off. Like if you get somebody to land on that boom, like if you flash kick and then you knock them in the air and then you juggle them with that boom, you can't really get anything off of it. Like I saw people trying to get super off of it, which should work,
right.
Because it looks like it should work. And no, it doesn't work.
Huh.
I think you can only get another EX flash kick if they hit that flash kick boom, which I'm like, why? Come on.
I don't know. Maybe it's timing based. Like I'm not sure if they tweaked his timing with the sonic booms or flash kicks, but maybe it's timing based because maybe you have just enough time to get back 2 seconds or down 2 seconds and move out, but you don't have enough time to do like the back 2 seconds forward, back forward.
No, like the CA comes out, like it connects, like it connects for one hit, and then they just fall out of it, and then they're invincible.
Okay.
It won't juggle for whatever reason.
All right. Well, I guess I guess that is weird. I guess that's something they might have to patch.
I don't know
if it does work. Patch in or patch out.
Yeah. I heard some similar stuff, I think, with Akuma. Like, I forget what move it was exactly, but they were having trouble juggling certain things in the new V-Trigger. So it seems maybe something global with that game where they just don't want to, or they're restricting certain juggle states for whatever reason.
It's possible. I mean, again, this is day one, so they're going to obviously take a look at what's, at the things that might need to be fixed.
Yeah, that's the other question. Like, how are they going to do another, like they did with Season 2? They had a mid-season patch or mid-season balance change. If they're going to do that with Season 3.
I'm sure there will be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get, I don't know, Super Street Fighter V Arcade Edition 2019 or something.
No, Frank, goddammit. They said no, we're not going to do that. They promised.
Right. Look, just like they said, we will never have to pay for any DLC.
You don't. You can grind fight money and buy characters.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
You can't.
Yeah, you can. Totally do that.
No, you can't. Not for everything. No way.
No, yeah. The only thing is costumes, which again I'm a little salty about. No, you can buy stages with fight money.
Certain stages you can't buy with fight money.
Only the CPT ones, I think. That's the only ones you have to buy with the real money.
Still counts.
I guess. You're not wrong. I'm just... but yeah, that's like a very good update to this game. We've been wanting this for a long time, and we finally got a lot of like good improvements too. Like even when you're going to the shop to buy a new costume, you can now see what that costume looks like in the complete 3D model.
I know, and like finally,
and look at each individual color to see what it looks like. It's
what were they waiting for with this? Like fighting games outside of them have been doing this for forever. It's like, what happened? Like, why'd you finally catch up with that?
The only thing I will say that's missing from that is that you cannot see the alternate version of that costume, because a lot of costumes have the costume code where you can alter it and make it look different, but you can't see that version of the costume in the 3D viewer, unfortunately.
Well, at least it's something.
Yeah. Progress, we're making it slowly but surely. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, playing all these kinds of weird games.
All right, well, I guess it's my turn. So let's talk about.
Let's tag you in, buddy.
Let's talk about something that came out this. Oh lordy lord! All right, so Dragon Ball FighterZ had an open beta this past weekend. So the people who pre-ordered the game on PlayStation Network or Xbox Live got the chance to play it a day early. They got early access, so I believe that was released on Friday.
Saturday.
And everyone else was Saturday.
Yep.
I got to play it on Saturday. Oh wait, no, I got to play it on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah. So everyone who pre-ordered got to play early access on Saturday, and then everyone else got to play it on Sunday
and Monday.
And then, it's done. So, dude, I tried to get into early access thinking that, let's just find out and see, but no dice. But
really?
I did hear that people that,
because I got it in early access.
You did?
Yeah. I was playing on Saturday.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I just pre-ordered the game. And
that's what I was hearing. Some people were special, and I heard that it's the majority of people that were able to get them were early access. Xbox One owners were able to play the game with no issues. On Saturday, and
they didn't pre-order.
No pre-order. They just were able to play it, and I kind of thought it had something to do with the last beta that they had, where if you were on the PlayStation 4 had trouble getting in, but if you you had to use the codes, but if you had an Xbox One, then you were able to just play it. So I'm not sure if that had something to do with it.
Well, I pre-ordered that day, so that was the only reason I was able to get in on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there were people that were able to get in without pre-ordering.
Oh,
no issue. So
weird.
So I tried to do that. I'm like, yeah, let's just try to see, but that didn't work. So Sunday, so Saturday at midnight, I was like, all right, maybe now. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's Pacific time. So I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
So
I'll stay up 3 more hours.
Yeah. So I'm like, so I actually stayed up till 2, playing something else. But then I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to sleep, and I'll wake up early in the morning, and I'll play it. So I did. Boom, Dragon Ball FighterZ beta, man. Yo, okay. All right. Oh my god. All right. So, yo, Alex, this is like fucking crack. Like, Alex, this is like fucking that good shit. Like,
okay.
So when you go in, you're able to go into any number of lobbies. There's a bunch of lobbies that they host depending on your region. And man, I was just fucking. I went through the tutorial really quickly, which was it was a little bare bones, a little kind of like didn't really explain a whole lot. But again, it's a beta, so what can you expect? But then I just jumped right into casual matches with other people, and I was like, all right, let's figure this shit out, man. Alex, I'm just gonna try to make the longest story short. I've never had so much fun playing playing an online fighting game ever in my life. And yo, I was fucking, I was like, all these matches were so close, and people were doing like different things, and then I was seeing the meta grow before my eyes, because the more people I played, it's like the better everyone was getting at this game. You know, and I'm like, this beta was a good idea. This was a great idea. Yo, Alex, I've had some matches. I saved some replays. I'm not sure if you can even carry that over into the main game, but I saved some replays, man, and some fucking awesome shit was happening, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there was like, okay, so there's this one match, right? Where, oh God, okay. So it was, the team I used was Goku, Vegeta, and Ultimate Gohan. For some reason, I don't know if you had the same issue, but for some reason you couldn't use Teen Gohan to fight against people.
No, he wasn't available in this beta.
Right. He was available in the tutorials, but not in this beta.
Yeah.
It's weird. But Ultimate Gohan's a fucking beast anyway. Like, he's fucking awesome. So strong and so good. But in any case, so all right. So then, so during one of these matches, towards the end of one of these matches, I was fighting against someone who was using Cell, and Cell was their last character, and I had Vegeta. I think I lost my Goku. Goku's my point, and I had Vegeta as my middle, more for the assist. But
right.
So this person did a level 3 Raw in my face, and as he was charging up, like, because the charge up for Cell's level 3 takes forever. It's a long charge. So I'm like, all right, let's just try this. So I had a level 3 also. So I did Vegeta's final flash right as they were about to shoot the fireball. And the fucking final flash and Cell's level 3 fucking like all clashed, and it just completely canceled out. And I'm like,
wow.
This is screen filling awesomeness. I'm like, I have to fucking save this. It was amazing. And I'm like, this is great. I'm like, I'm loving every part of this. This is amazing. In any case, there were a ton of opportunities for this to happen, and everything was like really smooth. You know, there were no hiccups really. The netcode wasn't bad for me. I had like maybe 1 or 2 matches where there were some like pretty severe lag spikes.
Yeah,
and
I had a couple myself.
Yeah, and but I, for the most part, I had no issues. Like, you know, I heard a lot of people were having issues getting matches at all. And I was getting matches like pretty much every 60 seconds.
You were the 1% that day, I think, because on Saturday, the first day for the open beta, I was not able to get any matches at all. Even getting into a lobby, I had trouble because every time I started the game and hit the press a button to start or whatever, and every time I would get an error saying like trying to initialize network or something, that would fail, and then I have to hit multiple times just for the chance to get into a lobby. And then once I was in a lobby, no matches. But the day prior. The early access day was pretty okay, aside from my PS4 crashed one time after a match, and I was like, okay, that's fucked up. And then I tried to load the game after that, and it just had like the splash screen, and nothing else happened. And I was like, did my PS4 die? What the fuck just happened?
It'd be a bad time for that to happen.
Yeah, I had to force shut it down because it wasn't doing anything, wasn't responding to the controllers, and I was like, fuck. So I just, shut it down. It did the, scan thing for the hard drive and make sure all the data's there, and everything was all good after that. But, at least after that, it didn't crash. But, yeah, Saturday was no-go for me, and I know for a lot of other people.
Yeah, I heard the same for a lot of other people. It kind of sucks that, like, I'm assuming that, the Dragon Ball Z name alone brought people in to pre-order that game just so they could play the early access, and not vast majority of them were not able to do it.
Yeah. Or I'm sorry, Saturday was mostly okay. Sunday was when the problems started happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I had no problems. I was playing the game pretty much from like 7 a.m. to like 1 a.m. the next day. And I had no problems at all. It was all good. Like there were times where I was in the middle of a tutorial, and like I would be doing something, like I'd end. It was kind of like a little like hokey the way you had to do it, but like I would like wait in the tutorial, and it's like I basically beat the opponent, and when I'd beat the opponent, like a match would pop up, but I use the destructive finish most of the time and like learning things. And during the destructive finish, you can't actually access the match because you can't press start because it's in the middle of an animation. So it's like, oh, damn it.
But I think there's like a 50-second timer anyway to accept.
Yeah. Yeah, even still, when I'd go, so what would happen was when you complete the objective, it would kick you back to the lobby, and then when you kick back to the lobby, the fight request would go away automatically.
Ooh, okay.
So I was like, oh, damn it. But yeah, man, I was having so much fun, like figuring things out. Like, the game does have auto combos. That's fine. That's fine. It's just that that if you do the actual combo, you'll get a lot more damage out of it. And the thing is though with auto combos that there are only certain moves that come out during auto combos, so you kind of need to use them sometimes, depending. And then I was just like learning all of this new stuff, learning how the game works. And at its core, the game seems very easy and very accessible. But then you start playing against more people, you start practicing more things, and then you start fucking realizing that this game has a lot of depth to it. And I was very surprised that the game, it's like I'm pretty sure the high level play is going to be like basically it's all about footsies. Like this game has a fuck ton of footsies. The movement is real in this game, and you one wrong misstep with your footsie and you get opened up. It's not like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 bad, but yeah, it's pretty bad. You'll get blown up for making one wrong move.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think like the higher level play will start to come from, where it's like both of you on the ground at neutral, just kind of like messing with each other, seeing like where you're at, what the other person's doing, how you react to homing dashes. Cause people think like homing dashes is the only way to get in. No, you can fucking eat up homing dashes alive with crouching hard punch, or crouching hard attack. Just eat them up. And if you're able to react to teleports as well, that's another thing. And then it's just, man, I was learning so much and I was enjoying myself the whole time. And then I get a match request and I'm like, all right, let's fight these fights. And these fights are so awesome. But I will say that the first day, the Saturday, not Saturday, the Sunday, I only lost once. I only lost once that entire time. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm like, it's day one stuff. So then when I went to day 2 on Monday, that's when I started noticing like that the skill gap was closing.
Yeah, because now everybody could play because they fixed their server.
Right. Now everybody was playing. And then that's when I also stepped into ranked. And I didn't know that it doesn't record your matches. It doesn't record your match count and your win count if you do casual, only if you do ranked. So I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I think I honestly played about, I want to say 100 and something matches, but I think it only recorded maybe 40 something. That's how many ranked matches I did. And then I ranked up to Frieza Clan. And
yeah,
I think that's like, I don't know, the 4th level.
Because you start off as Earthling.
You start off as Cyberman, and then you go to Earthling, and then it's Namekian, and then it's Saiyan, and then it's Frieza Clan, so it's the 5th.
Yeah,
and then after Frieza Clan is Super Saiyan. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was fighting some great matches, man. There was matches where I got blown up. But then surprisingly, like I never went 0-2 basically. So I was like, I'm learning. This is great. I'm like, I'm loving all this. But man, I was so sad when it was all over. Like on Monday, I'm like, fuck, I got to go to work tomorrow. And I'm like, shit, I want to play another match. Man, I was so sad.
Yeah, it was actually kind of messed up because of all the problems. They were saying some stuff that they were potentially extend the beta.
Extend it.
But they didn't.
I know.
What? the fuck? You guys mentioned that you would. And you didn't. Come on. But now they're saying they're putting their mouth in again, potentially saying that like, oh, there might be another open beta period or whatever.
Don't do it. Just fucking just fucking release the game. Just fucking release the game. Just don't keep us waiting, because I can't fucking wait. The 26 cannot get here fast enough, man. It cannot get here fast enough. I'm like, holy shit.
Like, I just want I want time in the lab. I need to figure shit out, because I feel like I was like just relying on auto combos way too much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, there was like I mean, I need time in the lab too, man, because I need to start figuring out because like I said, that's where the depth comes in, because you're just like, you realize that you can start auto combos with 2 different buttons, and then you can actually utilize that to create your own ground combo. And you notice that heart attacks push back, and you can automatically home in after heart attacks on the ground.
Yeah.
Then you can also combo teleports, you can combo dragon rushes. And I'm like, okay, so being a Guilty Gear player, I'm like, I know dragon rushes are universal overheads, basically. They're basically the unblockable rushes.
I thought of them more of throws, because you just kind of put in that canned animation. Yeah, that's true.
There actually are no throws in the game. Or at least there are command grabs, but I've never seen actual like grabs. So I'm hoping that's something that they can put into the game itself.
I feel like the Dragon Rush already is their version of grabs.
Of the grab, yeah. But the thing is, you can follow it up with all this other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm just like, shit. So yeah, I understand it's like supposed to be like a fast-paced game, so it's not, throws aren't necessarily a thing, but I'm thinking like throws got to be in a fighting game, you know?
Well, but, it seems like that's the option, because if somebody's guarding or turtling up, like that's what you use to open them up.
Yeah, and then you can throw tech, quote unquote, by doing your own Dragon Rush, and you kind of like you both do the rush at the same time.
Reset neutral.
Yeah, and I can't fucking wait, dude. Like I need the lab, and I think I saw everybody online saying the same thing. Like, we need to lab it up. Like, we need to get in there. We need to see, because there were people doing some dirty shit online already with the beta, and people are like, you think this is bad? Wait till the game actually comes out and they hit the lab. Then you're gonna start seeing some nasty shit. Like, I learned a thing or two, man.
Yeah, I really want to figure shit out, because I was one of the first characters I want to play was 18, Android 18.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to use 17 for a lot for potential setups, and I just want to know how to do that stuff, and I couldn't figure out how to effectively use 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to figure that stuff out.
Man, and like Gohan, like Ultimate Gohan, like I didn't think I'd like him too much, but man, he is like the best anchor ever. Like, I didn't even think of him as an anchor until I started using him more and more. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy is insane. And so strong, and I love his level 3. It's just if his level 3 wasn't so easily punished, like I'd be like, oh man, I'd use that shit all the time. But
yeah, the family Kamehameha.
Yeah, but it's easily punished. Just do a vanish and boom.
Oh, yeah,
because the startup is so long. It's like extraordinarily long that you can just if you map a button to teleport, you can just teleport behind them and hit the whole family.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, man, like, no, Ultimate Gohan is awesome. I wanna use Hit when he's available.
Hit looks dope.
Man, the counters and the rushdown, man, I'm all over that character. I have a feeling that everyone's gonna use him, day one, but like I'm all over that shit. Like, counters, rushdown with counters, give that to me. I want that. So, man, yeah, I can't fucking wait. There's like I used Beerus a little bit. He's like hard. He's a little more difficult to use than the other characters.
Yeah.
Frieza is pretty good. Cell is also kind of like a nice beginner character to start with, but again, that's just that on the surface. Deep down, you see that like all the characters have like this crazy amount of depth. There's someone that already discovered a Goku Infinite and sparking.
Wow.
And that's another thing, sparking. Okay, sparking is the fucking stupidest comeback mechanic I've ever seen, I think. I think it's worse than X Factor.
X Factor, baby.
I think it's worse than X Factor because you get everything buffed, including life regain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. I think they need to kind of like tone that down a little bit. You know, maybe not make them that life regain that much, but yeah, like I've dealt like level 3s to people while in sparking, and they're still alive. Like they're near dead, but the life regain is so fast that it basically like stops the damage where it is.
Well, apparently level 3s also allow 100% health regen in sparking, but level 1s are 50% health regen. So you want to, if someone's sparking, you want to do level 1s to whittle down their health.
Yeah, I also noticed I was getting a little further with just doing basic combos, like that ended off with like heart attacks or with like just regular specials. Because I was getting a lot more progress. But like, yeah, level 3s, I think that because level 3s there are so many hits, but they don't do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it does nothing to the blue health bar.
Right. So yeah, I was gonna start trying to do a whole lot of level 1s, but usually I was down to my anchor or with Vegeta.
That's when you spark,
huh?
And that's when you spark when you're at your last character, and then
of course. I'm totally in sparking when I'm at my last character. But if he has a whole lot of life left, then I'm like, I can hold off a little bit, you know. And I want their fucking sparking to run out.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like just sitting there and waiting for it to run out. But the game is so fast paced that you can't just sit there and wait. And
they can just super dash in, and then they're plus when they dash in.
Yeah, I know. They're plus when they dash, and they can combo from the dash in. Yeah. Like they can even on block, they can combo from the dash in. I'm like, no.
I abused a whole lot of that myself.
And I'm like, no, sparking. I think they need to tone that down a little bit.
Man, I was super salty, man. I almost OCV'd with my anchor Vegeta once I was down to him. I sparked and I was on to their last character, and then I got kicked out of the lobby. I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
It's going to be the greatest comeback ever. Come on. Come on.
Oh, no. You didn't even get a chance to save the replay, too.
I mean, I saved the video file, but yeah, I was like, oh, man. Oh,
man.
Stupid.
But
yeah, man, it was a whole lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. It's I can't fucking wait, man.
I'm like Anchor Vegeta for life right now.
Oh, yeah? Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Why Vegeta? Why do you like him so much?
I don't know. I've always liked Vegeta. He just has a cool look. He's a fucking asshole. You know, the bad guy turned good.
Yeah.
I relate to Vegeta in a lot of ways, I guess.
Okay. Are you gonna? You already pre-ordered it, so I'm assuming that you're gonna get the. Are you gonna use the Super Saiyan Blue version?
I have no idea. I don't know what the differences are.
There's literally no difference. It's just
aesthetics.
Hair. Yeah, it's just aesthetically. Yeah.
Okay. Nah, I don't know. I think I like the old classic yellow hair.
Okay. Yeah.
I was messing a little bit with other characters. Like I would always have Vegeta, or I quickly went to anchor Vegeta and then mess with some other characters. I for a long time I had 18 as my point, just because I was trying to figure out. Mess around a little bit with Cell. Nappa was fun just to plant Cybermen whenever
Nappa's
I could.
Damage is stupid. Like he does so much damage for nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think they need to patch that down a little bit too.
I don't know, man.
Because God, he hits hard.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
I mean, most of the characters actually hit pretty hard. Like there are regular combos that you can do that do like maybe 33% damage.
Jesus.
If you do it right. Yeah. But Nappa can do like easily a 50% combo for nothing. You know, with one good homing dash, 50% gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's pretty nice. I was like, I didn't think he was going to do well for me, but I was like, oh shit,
Uh-oh.
Nice addition to the team right here.
Like an Evil Saiyan squad on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this game, I can't fucking wait, dude. Like, because I really want to start discovering the intricacies of this game. Like, I've already started using like dragon rushes and teleports and combos.
Yeah,
you know, and I was taught a thing or two. Like, you can continue combos after like dragon rushes, and you can continue combos after like certain teleports. Like, certain moves can connect with certain characters, and I'm like, oh my god, there's more. Like there's so much more, and then it just involves starting from the bottom and opening the character up. Once you open up your opponent, then you can do so much.
And I love how simple like execution wise the game is.
Yeah.
And this is the first fighting game that I felt like I want to play on pad exclusively.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just kind of crazy.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah, for whatever reason, like the button layout and everything makes more sense, and because it's just everything's quarter circle motions, it makes it all simple. So
yeah, it's really simple.
All pad on this one.
Yeah, it's really simple to play. Again, like people think like, oh, it's too easy. It's so, but it's that's just on the surface. Like I think people were saying the same thing about Persona 4 Arena, that it's so easy to play. Yeah, on the surface, it's very easy to play. Auto combos and everything. But then you realize that the ceiling for that game is super fucking high when you start to get into like the higher levels.
Yeah. Yeah, because playing casual, it was just like I could do whatever the fuck I wanted pretty much and get away with it. And then I started playing ranked. I'm like, oh, we're doing neutral. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you start seeing that the game's not all about homing dashes anymore, and it's not all about like dragon rushes anymore.
Yeah, my first wall was, I guess, when I started playing against Super Saiyan ranked guys, because I think my peak was also Frieza Clan, and then I was like, okay, I'm just dashing in, and just because out of habit, because it's worked every single time, and then on reaction is catching me with the down heavy. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
You're one of, okay.
Eat you alive with that down heavy, man.
You know. You're one of the ones that know, fuck, I can't get away with my bullshit no more.
You can't do that shit anymore. That was fine when you were a Cyberman.
Yep.
But not anymore.
It was fine as a Saiyan. It was crazy. What the fuck, people? Come on.
Yeah, man. It's great. It's great. Man. I need to get into the lab. I really do. I'm just hoping that 20. I can't wait till next Friday. I can't. Yeah. I can't wait till next Friday. It's gonna be a good day.
This might be like the first like versus style game I really heavily get into and actually learn.
Awesome. We will fight the fights.
Yeah, for real.
We will fight the fights.
Maybe I'll actually use an assist here and there, because that is a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to start getting used to that, because that's the main reason why I use Vegeta in the middle. Like Vegeta's a really good character. It's just that like the thing about him is that he can get eaten up by homing dashes really easily. But he does have like that DP move, which is basically invincible on startup, like most DPs. Like I saw a video of a Cell doing a level 3 again, point blank in Vegeta's face, and charged up and everything. Right when they were about to shoot the fireball, Vegeta just did a DP, canceled it out, and I'm like, what?
Damn.
I'm like, that is what? And I'm like, so invincible on startup eats it up. So I don't know if that just says something about Cell's level 3, but
I don't know. Actually, that reminds me. I had probably my hypest moment in the entire beta was I was using Piccolo, and they tagged in their character, and as they were tagging him in, I did his little arm grab, and I just caught their fucking tag in out of the air, snatched him out, and I was like, oh my god, that was so godlike. How the fuck did I do that?
That's awesome. See, man, it's like there's things you got to think about. You got to start predicting like what's happening. Then there's like there's the manual switching, and then there's the super switching, and then there's the counter switching. It's man.
Yeah, using super switching with Android 18 is cool because you get the beams from two angles. You can create right angle. That's so good.
Yeah, it's and not only that, like there are like certain like there's the team dynamic that you have to think about, you know?
Yeah. Like
you have to figure out like what teams, like what characters work better together.
Yeah.
You know, than they do separately, because I think the game is going to be straight up 3 versus 3, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's going to be a 1v1, but even still, it's like, man, you got to start thinking about that shit. And that just increases everything. Like one little character tweak can completely change your whole game.
Yeah, that's the next level for me, because I've pretty much been playing it just like a 1v1 game and occasionally tagging characters in. But yeah, I need to, learn the intricacies.
Oh yeah, you need to start switching so that your characters can like jump right in and continue combos.
Yeah.
Like, because that's a thing that happens. But man, I fucking love comboing Vegeta's Final Flash. That shit is dope. But unfortunately, that move doesn't kill. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage.
Really?
Like,
well,
yeah.
I tend to use it a lot when I'm sparked, so...
if you're sparked, yeah, you're good. If you're sparked, that's the damage I expect it to do.
Yeah.
But, like, And fucking Goku, man, Goku's got me so hyped with the fucking there was the fucking his level 3 was amazing.
Yeah,
his level 3 is so fucking good. I've caught so many people.
It can combo OTG too. I just found out.
Yes, it can.
That's
and
fucked
I'm like,
up.
yo. And I'm like, what? And I'm not sure if it's there's few moves in that game that I've discovered that can OTG. So yeah, man. Like I've caught so many people with that move, and I'm like, yo, there was one moment I was about to lose. I was sparked, but the person had like probably like half their life on me, and they were hitting me in the middle of a combo thanks to sparking, and they also dropped the combo. Man, fucking the next thing I did, level 3. And I love that it's a fucking vanish move, so you have to cross it. You have to block the other way. Cross up. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, kill him. Sparking ran out when the beam first came out, but it still gave me the destructive finish. And I'm like, yes.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is fucking dope. I love this. I love all of it. Yeah, this game is too good, man. And it's just the fucking beta. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, man.
Cannot fucking wait, man. It's gonna be exciting. But yeah,
surprisingly a very good month for fighting games. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They were smart. They were smart releasing the beta right before Arcade Edition.
Yeah,
they were smart.
Now I can play Arcade Edition until Dragon Ball comes out.
Yeah. Ugh. So much more I can say. I saved so many replays, some dope matches, man. There was another match I had like a clash of sorts. Again, it wasn't with Final Flash. It was with Gohan's family Kamehameha against I think it was against the Vegeta Final Flash, and yeah, mine hit harder. It hit more. So
I'm surprised that would clash. Maybe I'm thinking of something else because the family Kamehameha, does that go straight or
straight
at an angle?
Go straight. Yeah. They go straight. So the person did a Final Flash, and I did I think almost literally like the split second after the animation ended. I was charging up for mine.
Oh.
So, yep, came out, and it was all good. It was all good. Actually, I did not win with that, but it got me what the advantage I needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
That's dope.
Good. Man, I can't wait. And Goku with his Kamehamehas with the angles you can play with, too.
Yeah.
And the teleport Kamehameha, I love it. I love it. I love all of it. And I want to try all these other characters. Oh my God. I'm freaking out, man. This is like fucking drugs.
Yep.
Like fucking drugs. Like just that good shit. But, all right. There's so much more I can talk about with this game.
Well, you'll talk about it when the game comes out.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, well, I'll pretty much have it like always queued up to talk about. Because it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. But,
oh, boy.
All right. So that's it for what we've been playing. We can't wait. I can't wait.
You're going to have to.
Yeah, I know. I hate this. So, all right. So we're going to move into headlines. And before we start talking, you should go to InnerCityGeeks.com where you can follow along with us. So, first headline is a continuation or kind of a conclusion to this year's Awesome Games Done Quick. And so, it's over, and it set a record this year for the most amount of money that it's ever raised for charity. Prevent Cancer Foundation is a charity that everyone's been playing towards. And so the speedrunning marathon has raised $2,263,508.19, and it's over last year's total by about $40,000.
Nice.
So also more than 32,000 people donated, and there were over 100 of them that gave more than $1,000. So
damn.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. It's always a great thing. It's always going to a good cause.
Yeah. And
this year wrapped up with Breath of the Wild. Usually it wraps up with Ocarina of Time. But, new Zelda game, they decided like, hey, let's try this, especially being this type of Zelda game. They wanted to see like the speed run of this game. I think for this one it was 4 hours. and it was just all the main quests.
Right, it was 100% completion, I think. That's why
100%,
it took so long.
Yeah, but still not bad for that Zelda game. But this was Awesome Games Done Quick is amazing. I went to Summer Games. Was this Summer Games Done Quick, or was it Awesome Games Done Quick that I went to?
I think it was Summer Games.
I think it was Summer, yeah. But yeah, the speedrunning event is just awesome. It's nice to be there live watching the games, and you can just, just watch people, again, just play games that you thought you felt good about playing, and then watch them just destroy whatever you thought was any good. But it's for charity. It's for a good cause. But I look forward to Summer Games Done Quick. I'm hoping it'll be here again. I think it should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one was in Virginia as well, in Herndon.
Yeah, it's pretty basically where it was last time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. So all right, moving on. All right, so in big news, actually, pretty much the day that we released last week's episode, Nintendo Nintendo put out a Nintendo Direct Mini, and it was basically like a quick and dirty. Let's just get right to the announcements. We're not going to spend too much time talking about them. We're just going to show you what they are and, when you can look forward to them and a little bit about them through what they showed. So all of the announcements are listed here. I'm very excited for a few of these. Most of all, for me personally, is The World Ends With You is coming back to the Switch.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's not a sequel, but it's like it does feature a new episode, and it's completely overhauled for the Switch. So you can actually play the game in the original fashion with the touch controls, combined with the second screen with the TV that you can you can kind of play both angles that way, like how you did on the DS. Mm-hmm. Or you can play it in a different style that you could use just the TV or the screen on the Switch itself and play in a different fashion that you don't have to kind of mess up your screen. Yeah. So I'm super excited about this. The World Ends With You. If you have not played that game, you should either wait for this, or if you're really jonesing or you don't have access to a Switch, then you should play it on the 3DS because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's one
Great story.
I missed out on. I always meant to check it out because it sounded very unique before the DS.
It was really good.
Apparently, also made it to mobile devices as well at one point.
Yeah, it did. I'm not sure how those fared. But,
yeah, I have no idea.
But the game is great. It's so awesome. It's got such a great story. It's got its own sense of style, and it's got great music. And I'm very excited for this. Also for me, I'm looking forward to Mario Tennis Aces because I've been a big fan of the Mario Tennis game since the GameCube game. And I'm hoping that this is going to live up to those games.
Is this another one of those re-releasing the Wii U version but adding stuff on there?
No. It's new. It's completely new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's completely new. I thought so too. But they have because the one on the Wii U was kind of more like a re-release of the 3DS one. And then this one is new. And then yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to see what it holds.
Right.
But I don't know, was there anything here that you're kind of excited about?
I was kind of weirdly excited about the Pokken Tournament DLC. It's a game I've been eyeing for a while, and I don't have a Switch. And it seems like since now the better version is available on Switch, so I might as well wait for that. But yeah, they're adding some new Pokemons that you can play as. I think Blastoise was the one that people were excited about. Mm-hmm. Mimikyu, I think, is also another playable Pokemon, which I think I wonder how that's going to work. That seems very scary to have Mimikyu on the field of battle.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
And then I know Mew and Celebi are also going to be added as support characters. Yeah. So yeah, I've been from a distance. I've been very curious about this game. I want to try it out and get into it now that the DX version is available. I just need a Switch.
Nice. Yeah, man, get on it.
Yeah, and then they're continuing to like re-release a lot of the old Wii U classics like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to like that a lot. Now more people have access to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game was great. I also forgot about Dark Souls. That's coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Craziness.
Yeah, so that's also coming to the Switch. So I'm kind of excited about that. I don't know. I mean, I played Dark Souls 1 and 2. I never really played 3 so much, but
yeah, there's part of the remastered version that is also coming out to the other consoles and platforms, but it's one of those platforms happens to be a Nintendo platform, which sounds bananas.
Yeah, I didn't think it could work that way, but okay.
Again, you sell as many units as the Switch has, like, fuck it. We're going to put it on there.
Flocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so the Direct Mini, they announced quite a few things, and it was real quick. I think the whole thing lasted maybe about 20 minutes. Not even.
No, I don't even know.
And yeah, they announced quite a few things. So yeah, you can check out all of the said things that were announced on this article here. And
also, I don't know if it was part of the Direct, but at some point, I think word of Detective Pikachu is coming out in North America, or is being localized at least for the West, and I was very excited about that because that looks like a ridiculous thing that I need to experience.
I'm not sure if that was part of the Direct. It might have been.
Yeah, I don't know. But I remember seeing a bunch of stuff about it. I'm like, what? Detective Pikachu is coming? We might not be getting Danny DeVito as the voice of Detective Pikachu, but the fact that we're getting it is fantastic.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And he has like a fucking giant amiibo, too, that's going to come out. I want a Detective Pikachu amiibo. Goddamn.
Yeah, that does look kind of cool. But I wish it was just like normal size. I wish it wasn't giant.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so all right, so moving along. I'm just kind of like, what? So Hori is releasing a PS4 controller. You know, it's fine. They've released PS4 controllers before. Actually, my current 6-button fighting gamepad is a Hori.
Mm-hmm.
But they're releasing a controller that looks a lot like an Xbox One controller. Like even from the shape to the button layout, even to the analog stick layout is straight up Xbox One.
The D-pad?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, can they do that? But I guess they can. I don't know if there's like a creative license to the design of a controller.
It's different enough.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing it. Actually, I think it's out now. At least in the UK. But yeah, if you look at the controller here, it looks exactly like an Xbox One controller. It's just PlayStation styled. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Is something that interests you at all?
Not particularly. I'm fine. I don't know if I have a preference, actually. Like I pretty much jump between DualShock 4 and the Xbox One pad. They're both good controllers. I think the Xbox One might be a little bit better. Just, has the better build quality.
I agree. I use the Xbox One controller for my PC.
Yeah. So it's nice. Like I know some people are like uncomfortable with the PlayStation analog stick being on the same axis, basically. So it's nice that there are options for people.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you're interested, the controller will be releasing fairly soon. I'm just not sure when in the US it'll be released. So, it's, you can just double check on that. Just type in Google or something. PlayStation controller that looks like Xbox One, you'll see it.
Or just buy an Xbox One pad and get an adapter for your PS4.
Yeah, you can do that too. But, all right. So, moving along. All right, this is very upsetting. This is very upsetting. I'm just like, fucking shit. There's such potential here, and they fucked up. So Arc Systems Works, this developer that's bringing out Dragon Ball FighterZ and bringing joy to all of our hearts. They also had another game that's coming out, and it's kind of, it's been known. Dragon Ball FighterZ is kind of like pushing all of that under But so BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is a game that's coming out. So the game got a release date of June 5th, but that's not really the news of this game. So the game is going to have 40 characters, 40 playable characters. Now you're assuming that some of them will be DLC, right? Maybe like, I don't know, maybe 10 of them, 8 of them will be DLC. No. They had the fucking gall to say, hey, we're going to release 20 characters on launch and the other 20 characters will be DLC. And you had to buy them in packages.
Damn.
Like 6 packages. And they also announced, okay, so the thing about this is the thing that just kind of like puts salt into the wound.
There's not even like one giant bundle to get everything?
There is. It's called I forget what it's called. It's not here in this article. It's like it's called like an all-in-one DLC.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure what the price of that is going to be because this game is going to be $50, $60 on launch.
Jesus.
With half the roster.
Oh my God.
So the thing about this is that the thing that puts salt into the wound with this is that the characters that they have released, basically, like, they haven't even released the complete franchises that are being represented in this game yet. Like, it doesn't feel like a complete character roster. For example, a big draw of this game is that they're featuring characters from the anime Ruby, right? So they have Ruby Rose, Weiss Schnee, Blake, and Yang Xiaolong. And I'm looking forward to Yang very much. So we all thought that they were going to at least release all of the Ruby characters to kind of draw people in, and then have like some of the characters outside of the Ruby team be DLC, if anything, or maybe like 1 or 2 more of the supporting characters of Ruby. But no, so they only have they only release character trailers for Ruby and Weiss, and then the next character announcement for Blake, who, that's the order that they're following. Next character announcement for Blake saying, like, Blake's going to be here. Yay. But she's DLC. And we're like, wait a minute.
Wow.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me one of the biggest draws of this game was these Ruby characters, and now you're telling me that you're going to release half of the main team as DLC? Especially Yang. I'm pretty sure everyone's looking forward to Yang most of all, because she's awesome. But fuck. So there's that. And then, so Persona characters is another example. Persona characters, they only released the first 4 characters for Persona 4, like the main investigation squad. So again, it's reused assets, sure. But then there's still about, I would say, there's still about 6 Persona characters that they can include in the game, but the rest of those characters are going to be DLC. Like, what the fuck? From the Unial games, they've only released, I think, 4 characters from the Unial games. Again, 6 more characters, DLC.
Wow.
BlazBlue has the most representation. I think BlazBlue characters have like 7 characters so far. So 3 of those characters, DLC. Still, 20 fucking characters. And not only that, but out of those 20 characters, you're getting like incomplete squads. You're getting incomplete representation with this fucking game.
Yeah.
And they're all hidden behind a paywall now. And it's like, what the fuck? And it's like, Arc Systems Works they're no stranger to like fucked up DLC practices. They've done it all the time. I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to be worse in the long run with the potential for DLC that they will have, and people will buy those characters.
Yeah.
But even still, like, this is egregious.
They leveled up.
Yeah. Like, they're trying to use the popularity of Dragon Ball FighterZ to try to see if they can use a game that's straight up using reused assets from 3 other games. And saying like, hey, you wanna have the full experience of this game? Yeah, we're gonna release 20 characters, but there are 40 playable characters, which means the other 20 are fucking DLC.
Wow.
And I'm not sure how much that all-in-one DLC is, but it's still hidden. But the 20 characters are still hidden behind a paywall, and that's fucking not right.
Yeah, that's not kosher.
Yeah. So this was something that caused a huge uproar in the fighting game world, in the gaming world in general, because it's just like one of the worst DLC practices to date, besides Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, this caused a huge uproar. It's just people were just like, "What the fuck?" Like this is, and it's just like the lack of representation is what really, really like got under my skin, because they just didn't do it in the right way. Fine, you want to do this many odd characters out, but you're basically putting out incomplete parts of your game in order for people to be forced to buy the other half just so they can feel like the game is really complete.
Yeah, and the fact that they're reusing like old sprites just adds to the fact like what value are you adding really? Like
right.
I know there's work that's needed to put those things in there and rework them for the new engine or the new game in general, but still like it's not a good look when you're using the same old sprites that you use in old games to put in this new game, and then on top of that put it behind a money wall.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Ruby characters are new, sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, BlazBlue, Uniel, and Persona are all Arc Systems Works games that have come out, and just sprite dump. They're just sprite dumping all of these characters. And it's just... it's fucking stupid.
Oh, man.
Fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. And it's just like... And another thing that really gets me mad, too, is... So they had the Arc Revolution Cup happen recently, and they had Persona 4 Arena as the main tournament in that. And so the winner of the tournament got an award and a money prize. And actually the director of Persona 4 Arena was there to present the award. And so the winner of the tournament asked, like, hey, I don't want to be annoying, but is there possibly going to be a Persona 5 Arena? And he's like, sure, if BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle sells well. And I'm like, fuck. Because this is not going to sell well. Because, not for nothing, all of these games, well, Ruby is not a game really, but all of these properties are niche. Like BlazBlue, not a lot of people know what that is. Not a lot of people play BlazBlue comparatively, in the grand scope of things. BlazBlue is probably the biggest game that is on this list. It has the title it has its name in the title. Yeah. And Uniel, no one knows what Uniel is. People play it, but no one knows what it is. No one's ever played it. Persona, people only know Persona because Persona, again, has its own cult following. Yeah. But Ruby as well, like as an anime, Ruby as an anime is mediocre at best. It's not great. But at least if the theme of the show and the characters in the show would fit so well in a fighting game like this. And they're like, oh, if BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle sells well, okay, so it had potential to sell well by joining all of these franchises to form a super franchise, but then you're going to say, let's hide half of the characters behind money. Yeah. This is not going to sell well.
That's terrible.
Which means there's going to be no Persona 5 Arena. That's the whole point of that whole thing. But this is not going to sell well because this is not a good practice.
They should just take all the extra money that they're going to for sure get from Dragon Ball and use that to fund Persona 5.
Right. I mean, that would make sense. But they're writing. I think they're writing a little too hard on the coattails of Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is going to be a financial success. I don't know about a critical success, but it's going to be a financial success. Yeah. And because people will buy it. It's Dragon Ball. Just that name alone, everyone knows that shit. Yep. So I think they're writing a little too hard, thinking they can get away with so much. And this is, man, what are they doing? Like the game kind of had potential. I wasn't too impressed with what I played at Comic-Con, but now it's like, why bother? Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Ugh. Vote with your dollars, man. That's all you can do.
Yeah, probably just save the money. Yeah, it's not looking good. But yeah. Oh, by the way, it has a release date. I had mentioned it before if you forgot. Cool. But yeah, June 5th, you can look forward to You can look forward to paying a shit ton of money for half of a roster of characters.
Oh, man.
God. Yeah. All right. So moving along. So Square Enix announces a new version of Final Fantasy 15. It's called Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. And basically Royal Edition includes new things. Or it has new things, and it includes some things from past DLC. So basically it includes all of the DLC that has been released before it, all of the episodes for the other characters, and it has multiplayer expansions and so on and so forth. So it also comes with an all-new dungeon and new features like first-person mode, new bosses, and some of the bosses in this trailer that you can see look pretty cool. And you can also unlock a newer version of your ultimate weapon once you collect all of the weapons throughout the game. And also you can ride a boat.
Cool.
Yeah, you can ride a boat. It's a boat that you've seen in the game before, but you can actually now control it.
Oh, I thought the car would transform into a boat. That would be pretty fucking dope.
No. There is a new car though. There's a new car though. There's a new type of car though. It's like an off-road vehicle now. So, yeah, that's it. That's something. So I was kind of like thinking like, because Square released like DLC for this Final Fantasy, that I thought that they had stopped with them doing their like, final mix versions or international versions of games.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like that's not the case. Seems like they're still gonna go ahead and do it. So again, more shady DLC shit. So yeah, that's are you interested in this at all? I know you didn't get around to playing Final Fantasy 15 at all, so.
No, I don't know. Like, I guess on the way towards release, I was kind of interested in it and the concept of the story, but then after release, I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't seem like it's for me, so I kind of fell off pretty quickly. I'm like, nope, I don't want to do anything or have anything to do with Final Fantasy 15.
Okay. That's fair. It's not good.
Damn.
That's not good.
Tell them how you really feel.
That's not good. This game pisses me off. It's like 15 minutes of story.
Did they not make it better after the fact?
I mean, people were saying that like the episodes add to it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they should have put that shit in the game in the first place. It's a Final Fantasy game. It's a big game. It's a big enough game. You could put another couple of hours adding to the experience, and it would not be a problem. People expect that length.
You say that, but that thing had a very lengthy development process, and to add more development time before the highly anticipated game is, I don't know.
But people did already wait 10 years. I'm sure they could have waited another year or so.
But you think about the shareholders, man. The
shareholders can wait. It's Final Fantasy. If it was like, I would even say if it was like Dragon Quest or Bravely Default, like, sure, shareholders would be like, no, put the game out, please.
Listen, man, stockholders don't care about the game. They just want to see that stock price go up.
They want to see the return, of course.
So put that game out so I can see that number go up, please.
But the thing is, in name alone, Final Fantasy will move units.
Sure.
So they can wait. Like, I'm sure they could have. They fucking waited 10 years. I'm sure they could have waited like not even another year. Probably maybe 6 to 8 months.
They don't care, man. It's all business. That's what happens when you have a publicly traded company like Square.
Yeah.
You gotta be like Valve, where you just keep all your money to yourself and do whatever the fuck you want.
Keep it under the bed.
I don't even make games anymore. Fuck that. I just make hats for Dota, and people keep buying them.
But yeah, man. So Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition is coming. I don't think there's a release date planned. There's a release date stated, but it's coming.
Cool.
So if you have not jumped into Final Fantasy 15, this might be the best time actually, because it might be worth it. I think it's worth the money, especially with the new episodes and the bosses and the dungeon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it might be the best time for people to jump in. All right, so ending off in Destiny news, Destiny 2. Wow, it seems like there's a trend.
Yeah, I know, right? So much disappointment all over the place.
Yeah, God. Okay, so the headline is Bungie outlines Destiny 2's future, says it is shifting the balance on microtransactions. So, when they say shifting the balance, they basically mean for items like ghost sparrows and ships away from Eververse, the store, and they want to trade that in favor of like other things. Like they want you to actually kind of like have a gaming experience,
play the game, and get stuff for doing stuff in the game.
Right. And so they say they plan to add more tangible rewards to end game activities, and they plan to bring back private matches and 6v6 to the Crucible.
That I think is crazy. That last part, the 6v6, it feels crazy because they made such a big deal about when Destiny 2 launched, like, hey, we're making it 4v4. We feel it's a better balance of the game. The 6v6 was a little too crazy at times, but now they're rolling that back. And on one hand, it seems like a big-ass backpedal. But on the other hand, how do they do that, especially with all the maps now that they've made are specifically tailored for 4v4. I don't know if these new maps are going to feel a little small with 12 people on them.
Packed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they have some planned changes coming this year. Actually, in a few weeks they're going to start rolling out some changes. There are also some changes that they're going to roll out later this year. Like such things like better clan rewards, pinnacle weapon and gear improvements, Trials of the Nine improvements, address solo versus fire team matching, item collection and records, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I know that they said there's going to be another expansion to this game, correct? Soon?
Yeah.
Soonish?
I don't know how soonish. I think they've said around springtime probably this year.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not sure if they've announced anything on what they're gonna kind of like put into that, but, yeah, Destiny 2 has been kind of, it's been kind of a little shaky.
Yeah, started out pretty cool, but then we quickly realized that there was no meat on the bones, and everything was so heavily shifted for like the Eververse. Because a lot of the cool stuff is like in the Eververse, which you have to pay real money to get, or you just grind for bright engrams, which is just like you're just grinding for experience. It doesn't really matter what you do specifically; you can do anything, and you'll earn experience for those bright engrams and get Eververse loot boxes essentially. But yeah, the end game is just so lackluster because there's nothing to really chase after.
Yeah, that's exactly how this article ends. Is like, the game still has one fundamental problem that won't be fixed very easily. There just isn't enough to do.
Yeah. Well, this is also not enough reason to do those things that are in the game.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing. But yeah, it's just it's been disappointing. I'm glad to hear a lot of these things, but a lot of these changes are not going to happen overnight. It is going to be a long time coming before Destiny gets to a place where it should be, which is even more disappointing when you think we went through all this already with the first Destiny game. You would have thought that they had figured this out by now after doing Destiny 1 for 3 years. Hey, we should iron out these problems. It's crazy because they're bringing a lot of stuff from Destiny 1 that they had already implemented, putting it back into Destiny 2. Like, why are we going backwards? This is insane.
It's about the money.
I think that's it. I think the biggest problem that the big reason why we're in this position that we're in, or Bungie is in, is this deal that they had with Activision, because it seemed like they had like this 10-year deal where they have to put out X number of games every year or two with big expansions and things like that, and they're trying to fight against this time schedule that with this contract over their heads. And I kind of want to attribute a lot of the problems that Destiny has to that like time constraint that they are working with. I feel like if they had more leeway, they would probably put out a better game. I would hope, but with that like contract looming over their head, and them having to put out like contractually having to put out a game, X calendar year or whatever. I think that has not done well for us so far.
Yeah.
But it's just as a player, it is crazy. It is immensely disappointing that I have to see this whole cycle all over again. It's the Sonic cycle, man. We were Destiny 1 started like crap, and then
good.
Throughout the years, it eventually got better, and at the end of Destiny 1's life, it was actually pretty good. And, we're looking to the future at Destiny 2 and looking at all the cool stuff, and I'm sure they've learned all the lessons and applied that to this new game, and then they have in some cases, but then in a lot of others, they're just like, no, we're going to go back. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Because we can, that's why.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, man. I see this trend. I'm seeing this trend all too often. Mm-hmm. God damn it. All right. Well, that's actually going to do it for headlines on that depressing note, because fucking developers and DLC practices and microtransactions and shit.
Yeah. I more blame the publishers more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, they have to, developers just make the games. Publishers are what dictates all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to move into new and upcoming releases now, and Alex is going to go ahead and take us through what we can look forward to for this week. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so for this week, the week of January 16th, first up, we've got Street Fighter V Arcade Edition out now, available for PlayStation 4 and PC.
Yes, and it's a free upgrade if you're an early adopter of Street Fighter V, so you can just get it.
If you already own Street Fighter V, you can get Arcade Edition and download like 13 gigs or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, to get the update. it's like for I think it was like 21 gigs.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Something like that. Yeah.
Also out this week is Kerbal Space Program Enhanced Edition for the PlayStation 4, Albert and Otto for the PlayStation 4, 2064 Read-Only Memories for the Xbox One, Beholder Complete Edition for the PlayStation 4, Energy Balance for the Switch, Inner Space for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, Kingdom New Lands for the PlayStation 4, Nightmare Boy for the Switch, Portal of Evil Stolen Runes for the PlayStation 4, Full Metal Furies for the Xbox One and PC, Star Drone is now available for PlayStation VR, Darkest Dungeon is now available for the Nintendo Switch, Oh Sir! Exclamation point, The Hollywood Roast is available for the Switch, and also Oh Sir! Exclamation point again, for Oh Sir! The Insult Simulator, also for the Switch. And also World to the West for the Switch yet again. And we've actually got a couple of Friday releases as well. First of which is Beholder Complete Edition for the Xbox One, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory for PlayStation 4, Kirby Battle Royale for the 3DS, Mutant Football League for the Xbox One, Nuclean for the Switch, Rento Fortune for the PlayStation 4, The Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human for Xbox One, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, also for Xbox One, and finally Vesta for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And that will do it for all our new releases this week.
Nice. And so that means we are done with this episode for this week. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit InnerCityGeeks.com, which is where we are, and we have a bunch of stuff sometimes regarding everything geek. You can listen to our old episodes on and or subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Good Games Podcast, and you can also just listen to this episode there now if you want to do so, if you're not already listening to it now.
Yeah, let's listen to the last minute and a half of this episode on YouTube.
Yeah. And You can also listen to us on iTunes where you can leave us a review. It's the best thing that you can do for us. Just let us know what you think of the show, whether you like it, whether you don't like it. Any review will help a great deal to help us achieve some sort of betterment. You can also listen to us where all podcasts are available to be listened to. And if you are on AGDQ.com, which you should be already right now, because I've instructed you to do earlier this episode.
Damn, instructed. Drill instructor Frank.
Yep.
Get in line, maggots.
Heed my words. But so when you go to InnerCityGeeks.com, there's going to be an Amazon banner on the right-hand side of the page. You go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you over to the site where I'm sure there's some stuff that you wanted to buy from there. When you do that, a little bit of that will come back towards us so we can provide more show and more content just for you. You can reach us on all the social media outlets, mainly Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Inner City Geeks. The Twitter for this show is at Good Game Podcast. And if you are interested, you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. And that is going to about do it for this one. We are going to say goodbye. And in leaving, as always, we say, good games, everybody.
Good games.